Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to take a minute to talk about why it is that the risk level to people getting bitten is greatly reduced when you're getting the actual dog owner to invest in the method itself rather than, let's say, a trainer step immediately into that role and begin to show the owner what to do. Now here it's really understanding that this connection dogs share with us through nature is very profound. In fact, they're able to get a very clear picture pretty fast as to what our personality types represent based on what's already been established between dog and owner at the relational level. Now this is where it can become a huge problem for dog trainers based on how this contrasts, this relational contrast that happens even before the leash moves, where you'll see dog trainers getting bitten, whereas that dog may not even have bitten before. Now here within this context, again, I talk about this issue of control, about possessiveness, and this issue of devaluation, which is it's a very critical issue that people really need to get in tune with to understand, why bad things can happen right out of nowhere, or appears to be out of nowhere. People feel completely blindsided based on how this sets up, based on the relational dynamics in play. Now here, getting back to the risk levels, this is why it is that when I'm stepping into someone's environment with their dog, based on on certain breeds even. Dogs can, this is the thing to understand, dogs can be holding a incredible amount of power and control over that dog owner even while there's been no strangers getting bitten per se. But this is again to understand how it is that dogs can hold this power based on the owner making a world for that dog to fit into. Unknowingly or otherwise, they'll start to avoid certain situations, but deep down they'll know that there's a serious problem. But again, this is where it's really important to understand the smart way to go here is to, as a trainer, is to begin to work off that situation so that you're greatly reducing the risk of anything bad happening because of the control and power that dog already has over that owner. So what you're basically doing is you're using everything to your advantage. You're manipulating that situation, even though you don't want that dog owner to stay, within that role. You're switching them out. This is one way to really that this system really has an advantage, is to understand how these dynamics set up so that it greatly reduces the potential of a bad situation happening. Now, oftentimes I understand people want to, me to kind of step right into that role so that they can actually see how the dog responds. And I do that quite often, but again, when you're dealing with certain dogs, again, it serves no purpose to step into that role knowing the dynamics in play. Especially, even when a dog hasn't bitten, oftentimes what can happen is you can actually set things up for people to fail, because when that dog bites, even if it's a trainer, that what will happen is oftentimes that owner will give up on the dog right away. They'll say, wow, I didn't see that coming, even though the trainer didn't do anything beyond what's reasonable. It's about how this sets up or contrasts off the personality type of the people involved. So anyways, something to think about. Really understand there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Appearances are very deceiving. People make assumptions based on how a dog connects and interacts with certain people, on the level of accepting certain personality types. But this is where it's really important to understand that dogs can hold a incredible amount of power, even though it's not fully on display. This is why owners oftentimes feel like they're not getting the amount of information that they really need to get a professional involved. But again, the clues will be there, but they may not be perhaps what as a human that we expect there to be. But this is why when you see dogs start to reject a reasonable amount of control and influence, even through the leash, how it's expressed in certain situations, you'll start to see that that's really the truth of what's happening. Because when it comes to dogs, there are no one-offs. Once the elevation levels start to hit certain levels through that owner, that you know you have a serious problem on your hands, and it's best to really take notice. So anyway, just something to think about really when you're approaching situation to bring owners into right relationship. How this system works is to play off certain dynamics to make it reduce the risk greatly, even with dealing with very aggressive dogs, so nothing bad happens. So anyway, thanks for watching.